this next one we've been working on for a little over 6 months, here and there, everywhere else and everything else. You might have seen it in some of the shorts. This is going to be cut up kind of weird because filmed here and there and haven't really had time or be able to put hands and film and do stuff. Got clips. We're going to clip it all together. We started out with doing some frame repair and stuff like that, and that'll be first part of the clip because that's when we started, and that was in the middle of the summer when the Dodge Charger was here. So yeah, the C3 73 Corvette, polished it up a little bit here and there, but we're not going to do anything crazy with the body. And we started fixing the mounts. You can't even see them right now until I climb under there, but we're gonna be adding a lot more to that video. One of the mounts that we did get done is right there. It's all brand new. They got snapped that rivet out, but yeah, we got all new mounts all the way around, as you can see. And we got into the LS swap on this. That's clipped where we started to put the engine in. Couldn't hold it at the same time. So this is a L33 HO motor, E85 deal, whatever. We're not using that ECU. We're going to be using a lot of, we're modernizing everything. We'll put it that way. We got an EFI tank we're putting in the back of it. We are turboing it. We're limiting the power right now with the size of the turbo and stuff like that, which we'll get into. All the parts we've been using. Did a few things we're not proud of to get this in because we found out while we were putting the engine in that somebody switched the bell housing in this car, but it should be fine for right now. We're going to be changing the transmission and everything on that and doing a lot of suspension work because when you're making decent power, these cars handle terrible. So we're going to get more into that. I'm going to start clipping this together and show you where we're at. We'll get the body mount part done, and then we'll get back to the LS install, the crossover pipes, the turbo, and the parts we've been using. Kind of want to make a video on it. Got, you know, there's a bunch of shorts on this car. What it had the 283 in it is a turd. We dicked with the carburetor and everything else. Got it to run halfway decent, but still it had a bunch of blow by and everything else and whatever. We put fresh oil in it and it came out black already within the 0 miles that it's done. So it was tired either way. And yeah, this is a 5-speed car. I mean, not a 5-speed, a 4-speed Muncie. It's only going to be in here for a short period of time, but he dynamatted everything. The seats were broken in this thing. This thing sat for like 11, 12 years. Not driven, neglected. I did get it started as soon as we got it home off the trailer. But we got some Mazda RX-7 seats in it. They actually work really good. Yeah, everything fits good. But yeah, anyways, we're going to be putting a Haltech Rebel LS in this and other stuff because we're not going to mess with it. I've had got a sour taste in my mouth for Hollies. And been having good luck with Haltech stuff. So let's get to clipping on this and where we were, and then we'll get caught up to speed because, like I said, it's been well over 6 months, and I'm rambling on now. So let's get into this. So we brought the C3 Corvette in, and we had to do some body mount stuff. So a lot of people do the videos of doing the rear mounts on these. Well, we got to do them anyways, but the one that we had to do the most was this back little piece of frame rail. I still got to patch that in. But we rebuilt the Birdcage here, and I got to fold this piece up. Everything's going good so far, and then we can weld this all together, and then this Birdcage side is done. Yeah, so this was rotted pretty good in here. I mean, it's fixable. Don't buy one for a lot of money if it needs to be fixed. That's for sure. You can pull that panel right off and check it out. So let me get hacking into this thing, and we'll see where we are in a second. Also, yeah, we're gonna end up LS swapping this with a L33 aluminum block 5.3 because this thing is a 283 out of or 289, one or the other. I gotta look again. Out of a 64 Impala. Kind of threw me when I went to change the oil, and I was like, wait, this thing's got a cartridge filter on it. So that's awesome too. And then we just went around and fixed all the lights, headlight switch, and all that stuff. So let me get cutting into this. I got to trim off some of that with the plasma cutter. build an end plate for the end of the frame there, and then start tacking in that birdcage. See what we can see. It may be a little dark. So this side was a little worse than the other side. We replated this frame and the inside. Now we got to make the inside plate in there. Do have the castle nut that we made and started building this cage back up. We still have to do the bottom, mark it, and get the bushing in. This side, we made a new plate back here. As you can see, it's sitting on here. We have to fix some of this fiberglass, which is not a big deal. Fiberglass isn't that hard to work with. And as we get farther into this, I'll show you more. But we have the pockets, the metal pockets that go on here and then get riveted in. We'll be doing those as well. And this bolt actually goes up through. And yeah, we started cleaning the frame and painting that as well. But we're going to get a little more into this today now that it's not 800 degrees, but we did a full swing. We went from 100 degrees to 67 degrees. So now I'm all sweatshirted up and stuff here. But yeah, we're doing this all in preparation to do the Alice swap. But the biggest thing is fixing this bird cage, and then bodywork's going to be last. There were some cracks and stuff in this from the previous bodywork and bubbles because they never used the right adhesion promotion. But with the body mount being bad and stuff, this cracked back here pretty good and here. But we'll get this all fixed as well. That's going to be one of the last things we do to the car. We're going to be changing the seats in it here shortly too, and other stuff, making this at least drivable with this current engine while we build the aluminum block 5.3 for this thing and change the cam and stuff. And then we'll go through the whole process on that. But as soon as he gets back here, we'll start getting some action shots of what we do to exactly make this stuff and how we cut it and bend it and all that stuff over here. So as soon as he gets here, we'll do some more.
How'd you cut across the back?
I did it with the, which part?
This way?
I did that with the Dremel.
Okay.
I just squared it off with the Dremel. Actually, if we lay it on there flat, you almost don't even have to, but
yeah, I don't think
we're talking 1/4 of an inch. I thought you were going to plasma cut the front. Oh, you were cleaning it off. All right, all right. I was like, what are we doing here? And we're in rough shape on this one. We thought the other side was worse. Apparently we were wrong. So we got to get that all out of there. Get the silicone. Somebody tried to wad it full of silicone, which is kind of strange. But we got to get this castle nut out of here. Get some bolts stuck in it. We'll make our own castle nut like we did on the other side. So we're going to blow flames now. The pry bar was right there somewhere. Right there. I was going to say just fold it up and then fucking cut the other side.
Well, ready to break off.
Oh, that's fine. Got it now. Maybe. A little bit of persuasion.
Hitting the guard.
The guard? Yeah. Not getting a good contact. Makes quick work of that.
There it is. Well, there's all silicone.
Yeah. We'll peel that out of there and make quick work for the rest of it, I guess. This will have to replate down by the looks of it again. Well, no, there's quite a bit there. We just got to square it off. But
Yeah, this frame wasn't as bad on the other side, but this one's in a little better shape.
yeah,
But
the
up here is worse.
The bird cage is rough. We're gonna have to cut it like right in there, probably right in there, and then box that hole in again. What's nice is we can get all our measurements from the other side now, so.
Get all this rot out of here.
Yeah. So we're gonna spend some time cleaning and then making this back plate. Where did you cut the other black plate ready to go, right? So we gotta set that on there. I'll stick the marker through, and then while you clean that, I'll bore the hole to put the bushing on it. Just get the other corners, the back corner, and or did you already get it? Or get it from underneath. So we got our nice gap here now. Was laying on the frame. You got 4 corners, so we're good now. Yep. That's not going to go any worse for now. Then back to the front. Got it cleared out pretty good. We're going to have to blow a hole in that frame like I did on the other side, so we can plate that too. Yeah. What's the matter, old? Yep. Starting to feel my age. Now you're gonna make the other plates, and we can lift this fucker up.
Yeah, we're just about there.
Inside plates. Well, we can do those after, but
Yeah, we can do that anytime, but we're right here.
Let that cool off, and I put 4 washers on the other side, so we'll put 4 washers under this side and get it the same anyways. Could be 4 washers right here. There's 2. I'll have to go in and get some more. Half out. Actually, just got on hook radiator hose. All right, we're gonna get to it. Up, up, and away. Here we go. Time to put this L33 in the hole. Cleaned it up pretty good, and now we're just gonna get this up and in there. It's gonna take both of us to wrestle it, so definitely can't film because we don't have anybody to film. So we're gonna be right back after we get it in the engine bay. We're probably gonna have to move these mounts forward. We're gonna find out. We'll go over all the stuff that we used. We're using the stock transmission, the Z-bar, and all that stuff, and we'll 100% go over all the parts that we are going to that we used, like the clutch, throwout bearing, pilot bearing. You got to run that nut in on the harmonic balancer still.
Sure do.
Before we forget, and then we got to fight around the radiator. So we will be slamming this thing in here. Give us instantly for you, probably 15-20 minutes for us to wrestle it to the bow housing, but we will be right back. All right, so now that you're caught up with where we were with fixing the frame and getting the engine ready to go in, we got it in. Nothing crazy. Used a 4.8 LS flywheel, LS7 input shaft bearing. I got to look up the clutch, but it's basically the old spline clutch. And used stock Corvette energy suspension motor mounts with ICP billet forward deal on them. I'll put all the links for all the parts on the video. I got most of the stuff for him off of eBay. It's a different alternator bracket. ICP billet makes one. This one was like 65 bucks. That fits nicely down in the pocket here, gets everything out of the top. We just some silicone hoses, aluminum 45s. They line up with the power steering pump. The water pump, perfect. But the water pump is actually over on the bench, which we'll go over why in a minute. Because with an LS, you have your steam ports, which we have the steam port set up here. And it's either you tap into the radiator, go into the radiator hose, all that crap. So basically all we're doing is grabbing a barb fitting, and anywhere's on this outlet, anywhere's on here, all the way over, we're drilling and tapping it and putting a barb fitting, and that will feed into the steam ports. And then we're going to be drilling and tapping here because, like I said, we're going with the Haltech, and we're going to be putting in a pressure sensor for the coolant. That way I can set it to so over many pounds, and if he starts pushing a head gasket, we can shut the engine down with engine protection. And then save the block and stuff like that, because you start blowing a head gasket in one of these aluminum blocks, you're gonna melt the head or the block. So we're gonna avoid that. So we had to use block hugger headers, which they're just $100 set of headers. Basically because right now, like I said, we're still using that Muncie, and we had to get the T-bar or the Z-bar back in here, which you can see. It's an easier shot from underneath, and then we had to get a bracket, I don't know, that bolts on to the bow housing. Wire harness is kind of in the way. You can kind of see it down in there. I'll get a better shot when we get under the car with the exhaust. And so that uses everything like stock. We're doing drive-by-wire, so because like I said, we didn't film a lot of this while we were going along. And it's just a Corvette C5 gas pedal. That door handle needs adjustment. Fight my way into the car. Just had to cut a small piece of angle iron, and it pretty much welded in, but it is exactly in this factory location mounted. As you can see, there's that angle iron right there. It all works fine. The pedal is exactly where it was, or the factory was. So there's the drive-by-wire setup. The clutch, like I said, is hooked up with the Z-bar. This is a stiff-ass clutch, so that's going to be fun for him. And eventually we're going to be going to a digital dash in this too. So, yeah, we're not worried about the gauges, because the gauges, the tach was cable-driven in this car. But for now, we had the auto meter that we had out of Mike's race car for a while, so we could see it. We sent that 283 before it got pulled out of here. As you can see, the red line on that engine was originally $5,000. So goodbye 283. So we're mounting the turbo up in the corner here. As you can see, the hole is cut in the fender because we're going to be running the intercooler pipe up into the fender. It's on the shelf here. This pipe actually fits all down here and follows that down, so we're going to be able to feed in. And the turbo is going to be sitting, like I said, right here, and you can see some of the pipes are on the ground. So a little trick manifold, we're coming off this block hugger with a 180U, comes out, puts the pipe right here, and then we have a 90 coming across the oil pan, and then a 45 up puts the other pipe right here. So then we only have to bring the two pipes up, because we're doing a divided T4 flange for the turbo, because it's a divided turbo. And then I'm going to try and get that as close to equal length as possible. It's not the prettiest right now. My bandsaw broke. And yeah, the fun of that, breaking tools when you need them the most. But we're just going to have to do a couple little 45 pie cuts up and then in the turbo. We had it mounted here just to get an idea of where everything runs. And then the downpipe's going to come down and go through this factory hanger underneath. So other than that, Trailblazer SS intake manifold. Got the plugs over there and stuff like that. So we're caught up at this point in the video, and I'm going to try and film a little more as we're moving along. We'll get into making this manifold and stuff like that. It's basically preliminary version 1. It isn't going to be the permanent manifold, but that's where we're going to be at with that. And then, like I said, we got the Haltech coming, and some turbo smart stuff, fuel pressure regulator and all that. And we've got our fitting on here already to go to the AN line for that. So we will be back here very shortly, and we'll just keep going on with this video. So that's where we are at the second. We'll be back working on it like that. And like that, we had a few parts show up, but not much has showed up, so I haven't been able to film much. But we did get the ECU, and I got the harness ran. We're putting a Haltech Rebel LS in it. Well, it's already half in, as you can see, and that's mostly ran for the most part. But like I said, we're kind of just at like a standstill until parts come in. So this is probably going to be the end of this video at this point, other than I'm going to go over where we're at. We primed the engine. Now we were able to crank it over. We got a battery for it, and got oil pressure, and it did fire with a little bit of brake clean. This isn't the regulator we're using one like it, just not in red. And then, like I said, we got our fuel pressure sensor that's going to go in that, and then our vacuum manifold to go from there to there, and then down to the ECU. And so we got that done, and as we've been waiting for parts, we started making this a 73 again, and we put the metal bumpers back on, but we sucked them into the body a little bit so they look good. Now the next thing is some of the stuff that we did off of camera too is the exhaust. So we put it back in the factory location instead of side pipes with the factory tips, but we had to open them up to 3-inch. And we did 2 MagnaFlows, stainless steel. Everything's tacked right now. I got to get hangers on it, which I'm going to do here shortly. But really no point in, filming putting hangers on the car. Most of it's been like fabrication and stuff like that. And now where I was saying is, for this manifold isn't done yet, but we came off the header down across. There's the rest of the exhaust, so it goes into duals from there and through that cross member in the frame. So yeah, that's that. But the manifold comes over, like I said. I was already over here once, but whatever. It's all just tacked together right now. Does the 180 around, back up, and then up to here. And this is where our T4 flange is going to sit, which we got to bring this side down a little bit and stuff like that. Like I said, it's just tacked until we get the exact turbo placement here, and then the downpipe down, which I've already started with the 90 off of that, which is going to come down the firewall down and into that. So I'm going to get some hangers on this thing and get that out of the way, and we're going to pretty much end this here. And then we're going to be filming a lot this weekend, because we should be getting some parts this weekend. Like I said, we're waiting on parts from Haltech for the drive-by-wire, the fuel injector harness, and something else. I'd have to look. And we're also waiting on the EFI fuel tank with the 455 liter per hour pump. And also, yeah, we got two of the rims in. So those are the rims that we're going to be throwing on, or that are on this. Well, but we have another set coming in the front. They're staggered setup, so yeah. So it's starting to come together quickly here as we get more parts. So anyways, guys, definitely going to try and film more here. It's hard when you're just one person. And then when Jason's here and there to get stuff done. So thanks for watching. We're going to dig into this a little bit farther. Hopefully get some rolling shots once we get this running up and down the road and all that stuff. We're going to go through the Haltech setup a little bit and how easy the Rebel actually sets up, which is amazing because I mean this thing fired first turn of the key when we gave it a shot of brake clean. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, ask any questions you want, and because I know I skip all over stuff, I'm scattered all over the place. So anyways, yeah, have a good one, guys.